Hello, Mnps families. My name is Shannon Key, and I'm glad to welcome you to the Promising Scholars Program Orientation. Here's some important information to help you get started with your summer fun with your families. If you have any questions, you can please type them in the Q&A portion in the chat, and we will answer them as many as we can by the end of the orientation. So a little bit about the program. Each program runs Monday through Friday from June the 2nd to June 30th. Hours for elementary are 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. for our rising K through 5th graders. Middle school, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. for our rising 6th through 8th graders, and high school, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. for our rising 9th through 12th graders. So what time do you drop off and pick up your child? Elementary students can be dropped off in the building as early as 7:45 and picked up by 3 p.m. Middle schoolers can be dropped off as early as 8:45 and picked up at 4 p.m. And high schoolers can be dropped off at 6:45 a.m. and picked up by 11 a.m. Students must be picked up at dismissal, and some sites will provide aftercare. So childcare is available through partner agencies at several of our Promising Scholars sites. The YMCA Fun Company will be open from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Cane Ridge, Cumberland, Gower, Hattie Cotton, and Hermitage. Forgot one. Glencliff. Yes. Urban Promise Nashville will be open at Cole Elementary from 3 to 5:30 p.m. and Boys and Girls will be open at Eagleview Elementary from 3 to 6 p.m. Turnip Green Reuse will be open at Inglewood Elementary from 3 to 6 p.m. Transportation will be provided for students who attend at the assigned school by the district. If you need more information, find your information at findmystop.mnps.org, or you can contact us at 615-259-4636. If your child receives special education transportation as outlined in their IEP, they will be contacted by the special education bus driver. Remember to be at your stop 10 minutes before pickup time. So what types of activities will my child participate in? Each summer camp will offer a mix of fun and free experiences, including STEAM, science, technology, reading, engineering, arts and math, physical activity, and other fun experiences. Breakfast and lunch will be provided at all sites. Students can also register for credit recovery. Passing it over to Termita.
So attendance is not mandatory, but is very vital for all of our K through 12 students. We want our students to take full advantage of all of the enrichment opportunities that they are going to receive during this time. So if you didn't get that, attendance is not mandatory, but it's very vital. Okay, and we want them to get all of the experience during this time. So please notify your student's teacher if your child will not be here or is going to be absent for the day. Because students who miss 5 days in a row without any family notification, they may be enrolled from the program, and we do not want them because it makes them feel less connected to their students and to the content in which they are learning. So for our English learners and exceptional education families, we have some information for you. So general education is very specialized, and teachers will collaborate with each other to make sure that each child can access learning, that accommodations and modifications are provided for their success. Teachers that are supporting English learners will provide supplemental language instruction throughout the Promising Scholars Day. And there will definitely be ongoing communication, and we will maintain with families, making sure to reach out if you have any questions or need additional support. So what are the expectations for our students? Students are not required to wear standard school attire. However, the district's clothing policy will still apply. Remember that students need to wear things without lots of holes, that their shirts and their pants come down to their knees, their skirts, their dresses. Just make sure that they are presentable when they come to school. If there are any graphic tees that they're going to wear, then those as well need to be appropriate for school. The 2021-22 MNPS Student Handbook outlines all of the discipline codes and procedures that will be implemented during the summer learning program. And students may not use personal technology during instructional periods. And no searches or investigations will be conducted for lost or stolen devices. So try to keep those at home if you can. So our COVID protocols are still in place for promising scholars as they were after spring break of the regular school year. Masks are encouraged but are not required, and we would like you to report all positive COVID cases to your school nurse. Your nurse will provide COVID guidance for all cases and answer questions as needed. Oh boy. Students should not attend school if they're feeling unwell. If you have been exposed to COVID and are experiencing any COVID-like symptoms, please contact your school's nurse and request a COVID test. For additional information or questions, remember you can go to mnps.org/summer, or you can call us at 615-259-4636. Each Promising Scholar site will have a lead teacher/administrator and counselor. The welcome letter provided by your assigned site will have the lead administrator's contact information. We are so excited to have each of your students participate in Promising Scholars this year. So now we're going to turn over the conversation. We're going to have some Q&A, and you may ask your questions in the Q&A chat. Some of the answers will be answered out loud. Some will be answered in the chat. It was so great to see you, and thank you for listening.
Thank you guys for asking so many great questions. I see a few have come through here that I will answer now. When will bus stops be assigned and available to view online? So bus stops are assigned already and are available to view online. You can go to the findmybusstop.mnps.org to find your bus stop. You can also call the Family Information Center at 615-259-4636 to obtain your student's bus stop and arrival time. This information is also available on mnps.org/summer. Can we keep that last slide up? I'm going to reference that a few times here. mnps.org/summer. Sorry about that. You can go there to reference a lot of information that you'll find helpful as you're planning for Promising Scholars. Another question, can my child attend for less than 5 days a week? Although attendance is not mandatory, we do request that your students take full advantage of this opportunity and be there as often as possible. We have had wait lists for a few schools, so we want to make sure the students who are attending are taking full advantage of this opportunity and are there as often as they possibly can. Remember, we have some students who would have liked to be there, every day this summer. And if your students cannot, that's a conversation to have with your lead administrator for your school. You should receive their information in your welcome letter, so they can advise you as to whether that's a good fit for that school or not. How many children will be in classrooms? So we have ratios in place. There should be no more than 16 students to one teacher. Our goal is around 1 to 13. So you'll have about 13 kids to one teacher. In some spaces where we have limited classrooms, you might have 2 teachers in there with 2 sets of students, especially when we're doing the physical activity and stream portion of the day. If you have any more questions, just continue to post them in the chat. Can we get this presentation PowerPoint? Yes, the presentation will be available after, it'll probably be tomorrow. We'll try to make both recordings of 12:30, the 12:30 presentation, and this presentation available online. You can view that again at the mnps.org/summer. Both those presentations should be available there. One question I got earlier today that I'll go ahead and answer here, although I don't see that it's been asked yet, is what is the difference between promising scholars and credit recovery? For our high school students, these are two options that are available. If your student is eligible and has been identified as a good candidate for credit recovery, they should have already been contacted by their school counselor. So this is an opportunity that's available to students to kind of make up credits that they have lost throughout the year if they maybe have failed a class or didn't take as many credits to be on track for where they should be according to their grade level. They can take this opportunity this summer to make up credits. And whereas Promising Scholars is available for access to college and career readiness. If you're thinking about that, if you have a rising ninth grader, so that's a student who's going from 8th to 9th grade, this is a great opportunity for them to learn how to transition properly to the 9th grade, to a high school environment, transitioning at a faster rate through classes. And if you have a student who's in the 11th or 12th grade, 10th grade as well, this is a great opportunity for them to learn how to transition to college. There'll be opportunities there for them to learn ways to push themselves, to challenge themselves to take more intense courses. If they're thinking about AP classes, IB program, this is a great chance to hear more about that and what that looks like for them. Another question we got earlier that I want to answer now is more specifics about the dress code. So we did say that no SSA is required, and Sharmita did cover a few points about what the attire will look like for students this summer. Just think no see-through shirts. Make sure everything is appropriately sized, from your pants to your dresses to your skirts to your shorts. All short pants, skirts, pants should be worn at the waist, and use belts if needed. We will ask all students to make sure their clothes stay at their waistline. Skirts, shorts, dresses must reach past your fingertips when arms are fully extended. And again, as Sharmita mentioned earlier as well, appropriate images and wording. If your child chooses to wear a graphic tee to school, make sure everything's appropriate. We do not want to provide distractions and want to keep kids focused on learning this summer. So I see a few more questions have come through. Can I switch my child from the zone school to her regular school that we got in through the lottery? It is too late to switch schools at this point. We've already assigned teachers, we've hired the number of teachers based on the number of students enrolled at each site. We have already mapped out transportation for schools, so it's too late at this point to switch schools. When will we get the welcome letters? The welcome letters you should hopefully receive, I would think, by the end of this week. The last day of school is next week, so you will receive them prior to letting out of school. So if you have not received those yet, please reach out to your lead admin. If you call the school, they'll probably know who I'm sure they'll know who the lead admin is for your site, and they can give you information to contact them. And yes, it is too late to register someone for the program. Again, we've already hired teachers based on current enrollment. We've mapped out transportation. And hiring has ended. How do we enroll in aftercare? Great question. If you go to mnps.org/summer, you will see a list of the extended care sites as well. There are links within that language that you can click on, and that should be a direct link to contact the persons available to help you register. Okay, another question. Where's my child attending his summer school program? And okay, that's something, definitely reach out to Promising Scholars at mnps.org with your student name, and they will be able to let you know where your student is registered for school. Question specific, like how much outside time will they arrive, even what teachers will they have, what will the rotation of classes look like? That's a question to ask your lead administrator. They are in charge of some of those specific details like that. No, you cannot change sites if already assigned. Okay, good question. When will we receive information about who our teachers will be? Will this information be arriving via email or in the mail? That is up to your lead administrator. They have put together schedules. Those were due, I think, probably 2 weeks ago. So they have teachers assigned. I think they're still working to assign all students to those teachers for each of the blocks. But reach out to your lead administrator. They will be able to answer that question for you. Okay, how will the classes be assigned? My child is doing Promising Scholars, not credit recovery. Great question. Another great question, just your lead administrator. We want you to lean on that lead administrator for the school. They will have a lot of these general questions that I see popping up in the chat, and they're very specific to that site. Okay. Great question again. My son is slightly autistic. Will he be in a special class? He'll be in kindergarten in August. I would suggest, let's see, reaching out to our ESY team. Can somebody, okay, I was wondering if somebody could type Debbie's McAdams information into this chat. Look out for that. That'll be the great person to contact in that situation to make sure, to see if there's a program in place for him at the school. Okay, Promising Scholars is not available at our zone school. Does this mean we can't catch a bus to Gower Elementary, which is right down the road? So Gower Elementary is offering Promising Scholars. If you're maybe zoned to that school now and we're placed at a different school for the summer, that's a good question. Please reach out to Promising Scholars at mnps.org and we can try to figure out what's going on there. Okay. Specific questions about nap time, you know, which teachers assigned to your student. Those are questions to ask your lead administrator. My child is an English learner. Do I need to inform the site? If they're an English learner and that's in our system currently, if they're maybe in an ELL class, that's documented and we'll have support at the school for your child. If they receive services now, they will have support this summer. Okay. Okay. What date does it start? Great question. I'll answer that. This will be my last question and I'll turn it over to our translators to see if there's any questions that need to be answered here as well. The Promising Scholars runs June 2nd to June 30th. So that's the span of time. So June 2nd will be their first day. So I will turn it over to our translators. After they answer questions, we will end our session here. Please know that all recordings will be available online at mnps.org/summer. We hope to get those loaded tomorrow. If not, they'll for sure be there on Friday. So please look out for those recordings. Share them with your friends, your parents who were not able to join us today so that they can get this valuable information. And thank you guys so much. So maybe turn it over to Molly Rose and see if there's questions here that we need to answer in Spanish.
One parent has a question, how he can get that PowerPoint presentation in Spanish?
Great question. PowerPoints will be available in other languages, hopefully tomorrow. We'll have those loaded to the same site, mnps.org/summer.
Okay.
Vamos a tener esta presentación en nuestro sitio web mañana. Ustedes pueden pulsar o ir a www.mnps.org y pulsar en cómo puedo y luego y transporte para encontrarlo del bus y también pueden encontrar la presentación en nuestro sitio web. What is the website exactly? Besides www.mnps.org, how do they find the presentations exactly?
So they will be available on that website. I'm not sure where the web editors will place them within that website, but everything can be found there. If they scroll through the page, they should be able to find them.
Okay, I responded to the family, the question.
If that looks like all of our questions and we're able to answer them individually, I think we're ready to close out and let everyone get back to the rest of their evening. I'm sure there's kids to feed and get ready for the rest of their night. Okay, so thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you guys taking part in this opportunity this summer. We are sure the kids are going to have a great time and learning will take place. So looking forward to sharing this opportunity with you guys, and I hope all of you have a great night.